Are you ready to stop the self-sabotage and create the life you desire? Well, in order for that to happen, you need to break free from the bad beliefs that are holding your success hostage. You need to optimize the stress by turning it into extra energy for success. And those hurtful habits? Well, we need to give that pain a purpose for progress. Welcome to Stop the Self-Sabotage and Create the Life You Desire podcast. Are you ready to give up on that dream, turning it into reality? You ready to put the goal back in the closet and say maybe next year? I didn't think so. Not if you're in my world. So what I want to do is I want to start giving you insider secrets on what it is I know as a hypnotist that gets rapid results for my clients. And not just my clients, but as an instructor, I train doctors and therapists and nurses and even lay people to be a certified hypnotist and get their own rapid results for their clients. And so it is going to be exactly what it is that they know that draws their audience to them, because they know they can go from stuck and struggling to a success within a very short period of time. Okay, what is the number one rule you need to know to turn that failure around to where you're actually experiencing fulfillment? And the number one law of everything in the universe is more life. Everything is seeking what's known as fuller expression. But that fuller expression can show up in two different ways. It can show up either as growth or decay. Now, what do I mean by decay? Well, think about this. That flu, that virus, that cold still seeks fuller expression. It seeks more life, but it's just on the decay side. Cancer, any disease, still goes by the number one, we could say, prime directive, which is more life. The idea, though, is that whenever you're heading in a certain direction, let me give you this example. Let's say that there is a horse running full out, going a certain direction, and all of a sudden you're dropped down on top of it. You find yourself in the saddle. How much energy is it going to take you to finally bring that horse to a stop, get it turned around, and then how much time is it going to take to get that horse back up to speed? Well, instead, we use something in our business, and it's what we teach our students. It's known as the hypnosis hook. And this means that if the horse is barreling all out and all of a sudden you're dropped down on top of it, well, instead of having the horse go in a straight line, begin to hook it around. It still maintains speed. It's still continuing to move at a fast rate. It's just that you can have it turn a corner and go the other direction without losing any momentum. What does this mean for you and your bad habits? One of the number one bad habits that I have to help my clients overcome is their fear. Now, it doesn't matter if it is something in their past that caused them pain, in their current circumstance where they're afraid of how they're going to be perceived, or the future and the what ifs. Fear is going to be there. And I was just having a conversation with a doctor this morning who was going, well, yeah, fear with the way the parasympathetic nervous system works. What's on the other side of it? Well, it's still a highly energized state. And I'm like, I know, you're preaching to the choir. We don't want to take the fear away. We just want to give it a new label on how your powerful mind uses it, because what's on the other side of that fear is extra energy for success, getting more done with less effort, an intense state of focus. The subconscious mind just has to be told what to do with the fear. So you take your switch and you turn it on, and you actually use that energy as a way to illuminate you and your brilliance. Here's another indicator of what I mean by the hypnosis hook and how you can begin to turn things. Smoking in itself as a habit is a symptom of something else. It is never a cause. Hey, I was even a smoker at one time, and if I go back to the original reason why I started smoking, it was because all the other teenagers I was hanging around with were smoking also. So it was a way to fit in. There was a gentleman who came to me several weeks ago, and he started smoking as a teenager because of the identity he had at that time. He wanted to be the leader of the pack. He wanted to look really cool. And the challenge with the smoking habit is that the reason why it was picked up then as part of his identity, it no longer fit in with who he is now. He's still a phenomenal leader. But as a leader, that type of habit was no longer congruent with the direction he was taking people in. So for me to do something effective with him in hypnosis, I had to ask his very powerful mind to come up with a substitute on the smoking habit that, in the same way the smoking habit at one point reinforced his identity that he was a leader, he was now going to have a new habit that was going to have more life, but it was going to take him in the growth direction. So it was still going to be a leadership habit, but it was one that was going to be in harmony with who he is leading now as being the number one in his industry, in his area that he serves others. And that way it was very easy for him to come up with something. I gave him several suggestions. One worked phenomenal, which happens to be the ruler of success. And that any time that unwanted, unneeded smoking habit showed up, it was just letting him know that he actually needed to step in to being a more congruent, healthy leader now, using his ruler of success and turning on that habit. Okay, so what does all of this mean for you? It means that look at what's on the other side of your bad habit. Why did you originally pick it up? Maybe it was something to do with food. Here's another bonus tip for you. Most people will find that they eat now for one of two reasons when they overindulge, either to calm themselves down or to pump themselves up. It's what's known as either a stress brain or an emotional brain. Stress brain eats to soothe themselves. So they're the ones who are going to be drawn to those empty carbs, the breads and the pastas, the pretzels, because those do soothe the system. Where the emotional brain actually eats to get a hit of energy, they're going to be attracted to the sweets and the sugars. So the overeating is a symptom. It's not a cause. When you look at why is the brain heading in this direction, that horse, why are you really eating, then you can find substitutes for the overeating that's actually going to hook you, get you going in the direction of growth, but it's still more life, and doing it in a way that is healthy and functional for you. I'll be honest with you, a lot of stress brains can do really well with 10 to 20 minutes brisk physical activity outside if your doctor says that it's okay. But that's typically by themselves. An emotional brain will want to be around others. So it can still be the brisk physical activity, but they need someone else with them. So look for the reason behind that bad habit, because the reason isn't going to go away. All right, if you want assistance with this, I'm going to give you a couple of different options. One is drewdawnferguson.com/SH. stands for self-hypnosis. Let me show you how to do this for yourself. Maybe even giving you the ability to work privately with either myself or Drew, and also learning how to do this for yourself. And what if you are so intrigued by this, you not only want to do it for yourself, you want to do it for others? Go to drewdawnferguson.com/CH, stands for Certified Hypnotist, and see if maybe that is your next calling to help others achieve rapid results with just one session with you. Okay, so number one rule, more life is going to show up as growth or decay. You find yourself already heading in one direction, don't try to stop it and go the opposite direction. Do what's known as the hypnosis hook that I just explained to you, and look at the real reason why you're engaging in the behavior. How can you now get that reason met in a way that's going to bring you out at your very best? So until we get together, remember this: success is just the journey. What's the real destination? Revealing who you really are, your strengths, your talents, your abilities. We're here to help you with that revelation. Until we meet again, blessings on your journey. Bye now.